If you think about some of your creations from, you know, the Monty Pythons to the Fish Called Wanda, I mean, would that even be allowed to be produced today, or would it offend so many people that the producers would can it?
I don't know. And the answer is I don't know, because I discovered some years ago, when I had to go on working rather hard as a result of that divorce, that the easiest and cleanest way of making money was to do stage shows. And if I do stage shows, and I've done an awful lot now, I've done several hundred, I go out in front of 1,500 people and I make them laugh. And I always get a standing ovation. One or two people walk out. I'm proud to say Trump supporters tend to walk out in America. But otherwise, I get a very nice reaction. But the whole point is they're a selected audience. They've come to see John Cleese because they like his comedy. If they hate me and can't stand my comedy, they don't buy tickets. So I have an audience pre-selected to like what I do. And when I go out, I do my kind of humor, and there's a lot of laughter. They don't complain about my jokes because they think that's nonsense. They think BPC stuff is nonsense like I do. The big problem would be if I started to do a television program now that goes out to lots and lots of people, and then I'm absolutely sure that I would immediately cause offense. But I've always known that. I mean, one of the funniest episodes in 40 Towers is the dead body. Well, when Connie and I were writing that, we thought, you know, anybody who's just lost a relative who is going to watch this show is going to be a bit upset. We thought, well, they can turn off. And that means that 95% of the population who don't find it shocking can enjoy a terribly funny program. But are we going to say, no, all you people out there, you can't enjoy this because it might offend a very small number of people? And it seems to me the woke people are amongst the most easily upset, the most oversensitive, whereas for an older generation, I think, was a little more stoical about it. If somebody attacked them, they just shrugged their shoulders.
John, when you create something that's actually that funny as that episode, by definition, will you always have to offend a certain number of people? Does it have to be pushing it that far to make people think it's so funny enough to make their day? Are you by definition going to offend other people?
Yes, yeah. Always.
Always. That's what I thought.
I learned that early on. I learned if you try to please everyone, you finish up with pabulum, as they used to say. In other words, you finish up with dross, with no character that isn't very funny. I always thought, what would a woke situation comedy be? It'd be a comedy about a functional family. And it would be very, very heartwarming, and there wouldn't be a laugh in it. You see, because comedy or humor, except for puns, humor is all about criticism of the weaknesses of human beings. If you tried to write a funny show about someone who was wise and generous and kind and thoughtful and well-informed, it would be a disaster. An American agent once said to me, show me a comedy about Francis of Assisi and I'll show you a bummer. It's about the failures. Basil is funny, but he's such a failure. He has so many faults. If he was a nicer person, he wouldn't be so funny.